Hello and welcome to day three. Day three is the story of our trip to see Santa Claus on the North Polar Express train. It was such a great day. We spent time together and the six of us were there. I have a feeling that might be the last time we take a trip like that together. I think as the family gets older, it's going to be harder and harder to do things that everyone enjoys and just scheduling wise too. I decided to use a 6x8 photograph of my kids with Santa. I knew I was going to have a lot of pictures for this day, which is why I created the two flip outs. If you're interested in seeing how I create the flip outs, you can watch my December daily foundation pages and I explain how I create these flip outs. I took pictures of the tree that was at Santa's workshop and cropped it to 3x6 and I'm using story cards that are sized 2x3 for the top part of that page protector. I was trying to decide which pocket I wanted the key in, and I decided to put it on the inside of the flip out because of the story that it told. I created the journaling in Photoshop and measured out how large that top banner of that 2x3 card was so that my journaling could fit in the bottom portion of the little journaling card there. I did the same thing for both of the 2x3 story cards, and I used a red color for the journaling. So that's what those are going to look like. I don't even remember where I got those story cards from. I think I got them last year from the shop, from Allie Edwards' shop. Moving on to the left side of the flip out. That number, that pocket for the number 3 gave me a lot of grief because I didn't want the 3 by itself on that 3x4 card. I felt like it needed to be grounded with something. And I went through my stash trying to find something that would look good with that ho 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 card. I like those core cards, but they're really thick, and I decided not to use it. I have a lot of embellishments, and going through them it's a lot of work to go through them and decide what to do. I wanted something relatively flat. I didn't want anything too bulky for that pocket because the chipboard itself is a little bit bulky. The answer to my question as to what to use was right there. I end up using a hexagon shape to ground the number 3. And I was trying to find something that would match the colors in the layout. So I just took that Merry Christmas hexagon and traced it on the back side of a 3x4 card from last year. I cut it out and added it to the card. But then I didn't like the way the design looked on the ho ho ho. So then I go on a search for a 3x4 card that I could adhere that to. I end up using this green card because that green matched the green in the font that says "Here Comes." I think at one point when I was creating this 3x4 card, I said to myself, that, okay, stop, you're overthinking it, get it done, because it was taking too much time. And one of the things that I want with this album is to not take too much time in creating it because of getting stuck with my thinking. I end up adding a little chipboard piece that says always believe. I thought it was the perfect sentiment for the journaling. Now I go on to work on the inside of the flip out. And for this card here, I wanted to add the, the tickets for our train ride, but decided to not use the holly card. I felt like it was so pretty and the tickets were covering it up too much, so I'd rather use it somewhere else where I could highlight the holly, the design on that card. I end up using a 4x6 card that I trimmed down from paper, from 6x8 paper. I'm adding the journaling to that card that says together. That journaling I created in Photoshop and used the same red color that I used for the other journaling cards. Now I'm looking to embellish, and I decide to use several of the rectangular chipboard pieces from this set, which is from 2018. I ended up not using a lot of what I bought last year, and so this year I didn't buy that much, and I am committed to using my stash. So these sentiments worked perfectly for my photos. After trimming down the chipboard, I used some liquid adhesive to adhere them to the photographs. And I tried to create kind of like a visual triangle with the pieces. And I really like the way that they turned out. With small pieces like this, I like using my tweezers because it helps with placement. That little chipboard piece there says Merry Christmas. The only downside of this, of the train trip, was that it was at nighttime and the pictures were dark, too dark for me. I mean, I like my pictures to be light and airy, and these pictures were indoors and at nighttime and just, I don't know, they turned out really dark, but that's okay. Right now, I'm just looking for a way of embellishing the 6x8 photo. I want to add something simple because of all of the colors, and there are 5 people in the picture also. I end up using the transparent wreath with a vellum number 3 and a gold acrylic star. I thought about adding the star to the number 3 to the bottom. I decided that it would look best on top. Those gold acrylic stars are so pretty, but man, they're really thick. I thought about using a stapler for adhering the number 3, but I have a vellum tape, vellum adhesive roller, which isn't that great, but it worked pretty good for this page because you can't see the adhesive through the vellum number. I really like the way that turned out. I like doing things in threes, so I have 3 little elements there. The journaling for that together card looked off to me because you could see the line of the journaling. And I end up using a banner, a red banner that says Peace on Earth. Those banners came in this year's main kit, I believe. And I really like the way that it hid the seam of the journaling with the card. Plus I like the touch of red because it accents the berries in the 3x4 cards. Now I start fiddling with the tickets from the train ride. Someone said that if you add hairspray to these tickets that the ink won't wear off. I haven't tried it though. That last ticket was smaller than the others and I wanted to figure out a way to highlight it. So I end up matting it on the same paper that I used for the 4x6 card. And I like the way that it turned out. There you get a look at what the flip outs look like. I decided I wanted to add one more touch to that 4x6 photo. I use a Santa image from a chipboard set from this year, I believe. And then that's it. Thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for some pictures. Bye.